Don't. You're too old. You've missed your chance. You'll embarrass yourself. People like you don't do things like that. What if you fail? What if people laugh? Ever hear that voice? Me too. As a matter of fact, I hear it more often than I'd like. But after more than 30 years as a psychologist, I've noticed something surprising. Far more people suffer from not acting than from acting too quickly. They wait, they hesitate, they overthink, they postpone. And while they're standing still, life keeps moving. Children grow up, friendships drift, opportunities expire, and some gardens never get planted. Today I want to show you why, and why learning to engage with life, even imperfectly, may be one of the most important skills you'll ever develop. Because life isn't asking most of us to be reckless, it's asking us to participate. Hi, Dr. Dave here, the GardenShrink. I'm an old psychologist with fresh insights into how growth actually works in the garden and in life. Join me on a journey to increase the harvest out there and in our personal and professional lives. Whether you're just thinking about gardening, an old hand, or simply someone interested in psychological advice minus the copay, I've got something for you. So come on, let's grow something real together. Now, hold on, Doc. Haven't you spent 6 videos telling us to slow down, to reflect, to make a plan? Absolutely. And I tell you the same thing today because reflection matters. But eventually, reflection is supposed to lead somewhere. And at some point, a seed has to go into the ground. Because life isn't asking us to think about participating forever. It's asking us to participate. Okay, confession time. I love to think. I love to dream. I love to plan. I love imagining possibilities. I'm much more of a visionary than a manager. And if I'm not careful, I'm perfectly capable of dreaming myself into a couch potato. Farmer Dave knows exactly what I'm talking about. I don't feel like pulling them daggum weeds today. Matter of fact, I don't think I'll feel like pulling them tomorrow either. I believe I'll just sit here and think about pulling weeds. Might even read a book about pulling weeds. And so it goes. No action, no tending, no movement. And tomorrow, same story, but one day further behind. That's the danger of mistaking preparation for participation. Now, the older I get, the more I realize most people don't need more information. They need more courage to act on what they already know. Because fear is sneaky. It doesn't usually say, oh, I'm afraid. It says, be sensible. Wait a little longer. Make sure. Don't embarrass yourself. Don't risk failing. And sometimes that's wise advice. But sometimes it's fear wearing a sensible hat. You know what that reminds me of? Monday morning quarterbacks. Everyone's got an opinion. Everyone knows what should have happened. But there's a big difference between watching the game and being in the game. Sure, you might lose, but life ain't Netflix. I'd rather lose on the field than binge watch my life from the bleachers. You with me? Exactly. Because life isn't asking us to guarantee the outcome, it's asking us to show up and participate. Now, living in New England has taught me something. Summer is short. Miss enough sunny Saturdays and suddenly you're buying pumpkins. Everyone around here knows this. That's why they squeeze every drop out of a sunny Saturday. They go to the beach, they fire up the grill, they go to the North Shore for lobster or fried clams, and they visit old friends because they know this season won't last forever. Funny thing, people understand this about the weather, but somehow they forget it about life. There are seasons for learning, seasons for building, seasons for healing, seasons for raising children, for taking chances, for starting over. Thousands of years ago, the writer of Ecclesiastes observed, there's a time to plant and a time to harvest, a time to mourn and a time to dance. Maybe wisdom isn't trying to live every season at once. Maybe wisdom is understanding what season you're in and participating in it fully. And while wisdom says don't be reckless, it rarely asks us to stand still forever. More often, it's asking for us to participate. You want to know a better story? One backed by theory, research, and experience? Most people feel better when they take action that is aligned with their values than when they endlessly overthink and wait. Not because action always works, it doesn't. Sometimes you fail, sometimes you make mistakes. Sometimes you plant tomatoes where they should never have been planted. But even failure teaches, even mistakes inform, even unsuccessful attempts become compost for future growth. Standing still teaches very little. Participating, even imperfectly, teaches almost everything.
There was a time when I first started gardening that I was reading everything I could find. Beefsteaks, jalapenos, pH levels, fertilizers, soil amendments, organic methods, garden layouts. I was so busy preparing to garden, I nearly forgot to garden. June was approaching, and if I waited much longer, I was going to miss salsa making season altogether. Luckily, Dr. Dave told me to get my head out of my books.
I did indeed. And we were both better for it, because the goal was never to become the world's greatest gardener. The goal was to participate. So before we end, let me leave you with 3 thoughts. Number 1, plant an old seed. Most seed packets have a date on them, and gardeners will tell you, don't bother, the seeds are too old. Maybe, but not always. I've planted seeds that were 10 years old, and many of them grew just fine. Maybe that's true of people too. Maybe you don't need a brand new dream, a brand new career, a brand new you. Maybe you just need to dust off an old idea, revisit an old friendship, open an old notebook. Try something that you gave up on too soon. Just plant an old seed. Number 2, tend before you judge. People plant on Monday, judge on Tuesday, and on Friday they give up and quit. Gardens don't work that way. Neither do people. Give yourself a little grace, a little patience, and a little time. Remember, good things come to those who wait after planting and tending. And number 3, stop asking, what if I fail? And start asking, what if I miss the season? Yes, look before you leap, absolutely. But don't keep staring or listening to that voice for so long that summer turns to fall. Because at some point, unplanted seeds do become unviable. So plant something. Plant something that scares you a little. Call somebody you've been avoiding. Dust off an old dream. Start badly, start late. Just don't wait forever. That voice, listen to it, respect it, but don't let it talk you out of your own life. Because winter, nope, I'm not gonna say it. Let's just say summer doesn't last forever. Plant something, tend something, love somebody, participate. And remember, keep growing what you're tending and tending what you're growing. See you later, friends.